Louisiana beer reviews, New Belgium's Hoppy Blonde Ale. And there's some parachutists, because, as you know, parachutists drink Hoppy Blonde Ale, I guess. Okay, 5.7% alcohol, 5.75% alcohol, 45 international bitterness units, best by July 10th, 2016. I know Eric, a Lions fan, was going on about he deducts points on the review if they have a best by date instead of a born on date. I don't agree with that because these companies they know the range wherein the beer will be optimum in its flavor. Born on date is nice, but usually you can kind of subtract like 110 days from the best by date and that'll give you the born on. It's kind of in that 110 day range. And some companies do the born on. But then the biggest problem is the companies that don't have the date at all, guys. No born on date, no best by date. Sometimes we'll have a code that you can't figure out, and that chaps my chapstick. Okay, now the New Belgium bottles are kind of, they're similar in bottle design to the West Flatteren 12 with this little ring with the New Belgium. They're kind of cool looking. This is pretty common around here, this beer. I bought it at Mathern's. Alright. The humidity's setting in, the heat is setting in. Hear a siren on the highway, which is common around here, as you probably know from watching my videos. US Highway 61, major highway between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and Baton Rouge and Natchez and Memphis and St. Louis and St. Louis and all the way up to St. Paul, Minnesota, and northward from there. And then 51, US 51 intersects here in this town, and that runs all the way up through the middle of the US to about 11 miles from Lake Superior. And then we have Interstate 10 and Interstate 55. Okay, enough of the roadology. They use pale caramel 80. Oh, okay, pale barley malt and caramel 80. The hops are Nugget, Simcoe, Mosaic, UK Admiral, and Centennial. So a big hop range, or a recipe, or lineup. Very good score on Beer Advocate with 48 ratings. 77 out of 100 on Rate Beer, 97 out of 100 for the style. It's extremely high in the style blonde ale with 80 ratings. So 128, and there's a few video reviews. I watched them and the people were generally positive. Okay, some bubbles from the, bubbles ascending mainly in the middle, a foamy white head, just straight up white, frothy even, and the appearance is clear and golden. And somebody was saying they thought it was more like a session IPA. Well, at 5.75% alcohol, I don't believe that's a session. But it's a springtime item. Came out about a month ago, I guess. Maybe longer, but in 2016 it was introduced. Smells like a pale ale. Yep, that's what it smells like. Fruity hops. Some mild citrus, and that's from the hop oils, hop resins. Kind of reminds me of Ranger. Are you ready for Ranger? Maybe some white bread from the pale malts. Let's go with the flavor. Think of very mild, sweet white bread. I guess bread can be mild. I don't want to say dull or bland. Maybe a better description would be like standard white bread, yeah. A little white bread crust, like Wonder Bread or some wholesome bread. A little mild hoppiness, low level bitterness. A hophead would find it ordinary and plain. Coors Light drinker would think it's bitter and nasty. Mouth feels light to medium. The finish is dry and relatively dry and easy drinking. This is pretty simple. I mean, it has a lot of different hops mixed and a couple of malts, and but it's not too complicated. It's a pretty standard springtime beer, or summer, but more like spring because it has a little more body maybe. I used to like the Michelob. I like the Michelob Beach Bum, which was straight up summer beer, and that was discontinued, even though they still show it on the Michelob website, which is sort of a moribund website. Yeah, this is nothing too extraordinary, but it's certainly nothing bad. I think I like it better than Ranger, actually. Problem with the Rampant, it was like fleshy hops. It was so much of it, it was just like this isn't too much of that. There's a little of it creeping in, but not a lot. The new Belgian beers have a tendency to be that way, like a little too meaty in the hops, something, or even chewy, like, or people say fleshy. So this has a little, but not too much. I think it's very good. I'll give it a B+. It's a very good beer. It's not expensive. You can buy a single just to try it for like $1.69 around here, or maybe you find it $1.49. So I see a few little white particles floating about. So Les Bon Temps Relais, a good beer. I would recommend trying it. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans.